go. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Faces for Autism Streaming with Love Telethon. I'm Jacob Hackett, your host. Uh, as you've seen, I've done a lot of these interviews this evening. People that have been a part of, that I've worked with, been taught by. My next guest, who I have not spoken to in about 15 years. When I was putting this together, I'm thinking, who could I ask? Who would be a valuable resource to this telethon? And when I was looking through my friends list on Facebook, I thought, I wonder. So, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome teacher now. She was a teacher in Absecon when I had her, but now she's teaching in Queens, New York, and she's here to tell us today about her experiences. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my pleasure to introduce Miss Jen White.
Hi.
Thank you for being here, as I said in the open. So just give the viewers tonight a little background. Like, as I said, I had you 14, 15 years ago. So just give them a little background.
Okay. So I taught in Absecon in New Jersey from 2002 until 2007. It was 5 years that I was in Absecon. I had Jacob, I think as a kindergartner and a first grader. Would definitely say for 2 years I had Jacob. It was obviously a very long time ago for both of us. I moved back to New York and started teaching for District 75 in New York City in Queens. And I've been there for a total of 10 years with a couple years off to raise some kids.
Right, and that's the way it goes, my friends. Tonight you'll hear different stories. You'll hear different impacts on the way people who have impacted my life. You've heard different stories from parents. Uh, just a little while ago, my co-host, Alyssa Sullivan, she interviewed someone and they told their story. Everyone has a story in a different pattern. So comparing when you had me all those years ago to now, like what's different? Like what are you doing now comparing to then?
Well, I mean, technology, first of all.
Oh yeah, yeah.
You bring in technology and it's just amazing. Um, my students now all have augmentative communication devices. Now I'm teaching a 611 class primarily with kids with autism, and some verbal, some nonverbal, some have limited language skills. But the communication devices and the technology that's available is just amazing. And it makes a real big difference. And it's really just such a positive and impacting their lives, obviously with communication skills.
Yeah, and that's just it. I mean, you hit the nail on the head. Looking at where we are, where we were when all those years ago to now, you didn't have augmentative communication devices. You didn't have technology. I mean, you had technology just in a smaller form. Just so much has changed. So much.
Right.
In such a short amount of time. Now you have this, you have the power to program things into a computer, desk work. There's so much to learn, so much to learn, more to learn. And that's why we're here tonight. We're here to educate, we're here to empower, we're here to listen, and we're here, yes, to listen to each other's stories. Where did you come from? Where did I come from? So that's why we're here tonight. So, yeah, I mean, but you said it like you're in a. So, for our viewers that don't know, and I don't even know this, what's a 611 class?
Okay, so 6 students, one teacher, one paraprofessional. So it's and it works with kids primarily with autism.
Oh, wow. So it's kind of, but you're in a public school setting, correct?
I'm actually in a mini building. So District 75 is New York City special ed district. And we have our main school, which is 811Q, and they work with students who are working on functional skills, academic skills, life skills, vocational skills, work job placement skills. So my students are elementary school, so we're at, the beginning level of that. Um, and we work in a mini building, and it's just so it's a self-contained school.
Right. Yeah, you're in a mini building. For those, to give a comparison of what she's talking about, and I might be right on this, I might be wrong. Compare it to if your child goes to a district such as special services. It's more self-contained. It's lower enrollment, lower student to teacher ratio.
Exactly, you got it. That's exactly what it is.
Yeah, so you want, so you started in Upseek and now you're in Queens. Uh, I know there's a big, well, some differences. Some are probably the same. Are there any differences comparing when you taught, say, me all those years ago to now?
I mean, we're always, as a teacher, I'm always trying to learn new things and kind of learn different strategies for working with kids. I still use some of the same stuff that I made back 20 years ago. I still use that with my students today. So I guess that would be the same. Some of my strategies would be different and have changed a little bit overall. I mean, I think at the end of the day, it's giving the students respect and being caring that stays the same. So those things don't change. Your strategies might change, but overall, I feel like those things stay the same.
Right, your strategies may differ a little bit, but you're it's still gonna stay the same. And as you said, you still have some of the material that you used
Mhm.
20 years ago. And I mean, for those of you that are streaming this all over the world, you, you're hearing it from teachers, you're hearing it from paraprofessionals, you're hearing it from uh, all people from walks of life telling us what it's like living with autism and why it's so important to educate, to teach, to and especially to give back. And that's what we're stressing tonight. Give back to your local communities. Give back to your autism chapters if you have one. Give back any way you can. So, so just like I know, like there have. Can you just give the audience an idea of challenges that like would occur in this like time frame because you've gone from virtual to in person and back?
Um, the back and forth, I think some of the hardest things are just, we're fortunate that all of our students have iPads that they use at home. So most of our students have a school iPad and a communication device, which is just a godsend. So my school's very fortunate with that. Um, the back and forth of just consistency of being in school, having that strict routine that we have in school, and then going home and having whatever their home routine may be. That's challenging for the kids when they come back and forth. We know that um, most kids thrive on consistency and routine and set schedules, and that's something that they learn to anticipate what's coming next and know what's going on. And then if they're in school one day and not in school the next day, it kind of, it's challenging for that. Some of our parents are working parents. So when they are at work, their children don't have the opportunity to participate in live lessons or participate in related service programs with related service providers. And that's really challenging. And then when they come back, sometimes you're back at square one with starting with our arrival routines and breakfast routines and flow of the day. But they always come back with a big smile.
And
So
that,
always
and
back, happy to be back.
always back. And that's gotta be hard because you don't want to start at square one again, but it's almost like you have to.
Yeah, you have to just kind of just go back to that reinforcement of this is the way our day goes. We use our visual schedules, um, we use our cue cards, we use our just routine that gets us going. And they have their schedules at their desks, they have their schedules on the board, they have their individual schedules if they need. And just so they can anticipate what's coming is helpful.
Oh, yeah. And that's how it is with anyone. You want to know what's coming, but it's more prevalent, I'm going to say, in the autism community. If they get thrown off by the snap of a finger, it gets ugly. I'm not saying it does get ugly, can get ugly quickly.
Well, and that's like a frustration point. Like if we don't know the way our day is going, we're going to get frustrated real easily if we can't figure out what's going to happen next, when I'm going to eat my lunch. If I don't know when I'm going to eat lunch, I would get a little upset. If I don't know when I'm going to get my cookies, I might get a little upset.
Oh, yeah, yeah. I mean, we like our set routines, and that's why it's so important to donate to these causes. Donate, people. They need your money now more than ever. The number is streaming across the bottom of the screen. We have Venmo. We have online Facebook, the Instagram, the website, facesforautism.org. Please, if you can give $5, give $5. If you can give 50, give 50. Give whatever you can. We all Faces need your support, and so do the surrounding organizations around this area, and not only across the world. And if you're watching this in New York City, I'm sure they have schools, not schools, but organizations like this that support autism. So please donate, donate, donate. They need your help. Um, One of my last questions, last question. I know you teach the autistic population in the city, but do you do anything outside, like Autism Speaks or anything like that?
um, at this time, I don't do anything outside of the school. My kids are still little and I just focus on school and home and making it through the day.
Oh, yeah, I hear you there. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Making it through the day, because that's all more important. So, friends, you get the gist. The number's down the bottom of the screen. Please donate. You've heard the stories. You just got the story from a teacher of mine. Please donate. They need your help now more than ever. And I'll continue with these interviews throughout the night. I will.